Hello, and welcome to the WB Mason Coach Report with head men's basketball coach Joe Mihalich. Welcome, Coach.
Great to be here. Thanks for having me.
Coach, a 1-1 week last week. Close loss down at Towson for you. Continued the road trip up at Northeastern and a nice convincing 10-point win that you pulled away late. Your overall thoughts on the week?
I thought we played real well at Towson. Now we played without Rokas, which is a tall order, pun intended, to play against Towson. They're the biggest, most physical team in the league. And for our biggest, most physical guy to not play made it tougher, and yet it was a 1-point game in the last minute, and even the 4-point difference was misleading. It was a one-possession game. Thought our guys played real hard. We were in it the whole game, had a lead early on. We just couldn't sustain. But all in all, I thought we played pretty well down at Towson.
Yeah, almost the entire second half after they came back from Hofstra's early lead in the early part of the second half was a 1-point possession. I would say almost 15 minutes. Just an incredible game again from Justin Wright Foreman. Offensively, he kind of was a one-man show a little bit in that game. What are your thoughts offensively that game?
Yeah, he just we say it every week now. I mean, he was named Player of the Week in the CAA and also by the New York City Metropolitan Basketball Writers. So an honor for him. He just has a skill. He's a gifted scorer, and he's hard to guard. So, I'm not the smartest guy in the world, but I'm not the dumbest one either. When someone can score, I think you try to give them that ball and see if they can score it.
Road trip continues up at Northeastern on Saturday. What were your thoughts going into that game? You knew at that point you were going to get Rokas back and things were going to change the dynamics of the team a little bit. How excited were you for finally get a full complement minus like a du jour buoy?
Sure. I mean, we've really missed. How can you not miss Rokas? He's the best rebounder in the league, 4th in the country, and one of our best defenders. I mean, he does all the dirty work. He doesn't get enough credit for what he does. I mean, the people that score get talked about. I mean, we just talked about Justin, and no, not to take anything away from Justin. He's obviously terrific. But, you don't talk about the guys that just rebound and play defense. And to have him there made all the difference in the world. And probably we went 5 games without him this year, and that's during the conference play, and that's made a difference.
Yeah, game high 12 rebounds, and just kind of was back to his old self on the glass, wasn't he?
Oh, he was, and the presence he has. I mean, defensively, he gets his hands on it. He's always in the right spot, and there just doesn't seem to be anywhere to go. If you're on the other team, when he's in there, it doesn't seem to be anywhere. If you get through that front line of defense, it doesn't seem to be anywhere to go if he's there.
2 players that specifically had a good game at Northeastern, Brian Bernardi and Eli Pemberton. Talk about Brian. It was kind of a breakout game of recent for him. He was key, 17 points.
Oh, he was great. He was great. Brian, as we always say, no one works harder than him, and to see him have some success was great. And I think he's feeling good about himself right now, and hopefully he continue to do that. And Elijah is, night in, night out, he's getting better and better and better. It can be a long year for a freshman. They don't have as many practices in high school or as many games. I think we've had almost 70 practices or more. And so for him to be still playing well and improving is a tribute to him.
Key part of that game, your team did not shoot free throws well in the first half. Neither team did. Second half, you were much improved, including down the stretch. I think 6 for 6 over the last minute.
Right.
How important was that just to change that part of your game to get it in line there?
Yeah, I mean it's so huge, especially in the end when you have a little bit of lead. You're going to get fouled, and you just better make your foul shots. And like you said, we were good down the stretch. I always say tough kids make foul shots, and I thought, we had a toughness about us on Thursday. You learn how to be tough playing against Towson, and I thought we had a toughness about us at Northeastern, and I thought we even got tougher as the game went on down the stretch.
Specifically, there was a moment in that game, about 3 minutes left. Hofstra was leading 64-60. Justin Wright Foreman comes down the lane and just a dunk that you just don't see at college basketball very often. It almost looked like the nail in the coffin for that game. Did you kind of get that same impression?
It did have an effect. Now, I don't want to sound like a hypocrite, but I'm the guy that always says make sure you score the basket. 2 points is 2 points, whether it's a boring layup or a monster dunk. 2 points is 2 points. But the reality of it is sometimes a play like that can seem like more than 2 points. It can be a bit of a statement. And I thought it really had an effect on Northeastern. I thought they felt like, wow, that was a big play. And I think it got our guys pumped up too. I think we were pretty energized as it was during the game, but that gave us enough more energy to carry through the rest of the ballgame.
Game was huge in another area because it keeps your chances alive for the 6th seed in the conference tournament. Obviously a very important week this week. I know you don't talk about the second game, but you do have first and second place coming into the Max Sports Complex this Thursday and Saturday. Just your thoughts on the week coming up, specifically Charleston on Thursday.
Sure. I mean, the two best teams in the league. We've been saying it all year long. That doesn't mean somebody else can't win the whole thing, but they are the two best teams in the league, and we got them at home, so it's going to be a real challenge. Glad Rock is back. Rokas makes a big difference, but you got to be ready for both these guys. I mean, they're similar, and yet they have their differences as well. I mean, Charleston really guards you. They really make it tough to score, and of course, Wilmington's going to pressure the whole game. So, yeah, you already said it. One game at a time. We're not really thinking about Wilmington. We're just thinking about Charleston and trying to find a way to score against them.
Two other quick things you mentioned earlier. Justin Wright Foreman, 2 different Player of the Week awards. We talk about him every week now, but clearly something clicked in that Kentucky game. Do you know what it was? Was it the ability that he saw himself able to compete against that level of player, or how he's been on such a run right now?
Yeah, something happened, and I think that's probably was the game when but he's like that, and he was like that all through the preseason before the games actually started. He just didn't get off to a great start, and I think it was in his head a little bit. But once he broke the ice, and I guess it was Kentucky, that was just, it was like the weight of the world was off his shoulders, and he got to be the kind of guy he was all through September and October.
And I know you're very close with Pat Scarry at Towson. We obviously want to offer our best wishes to John Davis. Unfortunate incident over the weekend. Thoughts and prayers with Towson, obviously.
Yeah, my heart goes out to Johnny Davis, who's a great kid, as tough as anybody in the league. He's still an all-conference player, and he's the 6th man of the year, and it's just unfair. I feel bad for Pat Scarry as well. I mean, those guys work so hard, and to lose a guy like that. But as you said, we'll be praying for him and a quick recovery. And it does sound, the only bit of good news is it does sound like it's not a career-ending type injury. It's just going to keep him out for a few weeks here. But it's life isn't always fair. This certainly wasn't fair.
Well, Coach, thank you and good luck this weekend.
Thank you.
And thank you for joining us today on the W. Mason Coach Report with head men's basketball coach Joe Mihalich.